Okay, so we're back. So you can see how these three essential conditions work really, really well together, and they're also a good framework for many forward outcomes when working with someone. If you begin today with these principles, no matter where you are or which day of the week it is, you're on your way to providing great services for people. You'll feel more comfortable in the work you do, your approach to helping people you serve, you'll feel better about. You'll feel better about yourself, and you'll feel better about your work with colleagues, your work with supervisors, and other areas in your life will also improve. I promise you. Try these three conditions in all of your affairs and watch what happens, especially though when you're working with the folks that you are working with, and see what happens. Give it a week. Practice these principles every day for a week, and just watch how your entire aura will be different and will change for the better. Okay, so the next area that we're going to talk about a little bit is unleashing creativity tips, and this is really a sneak preview about that. So basically, if you're finding yourself absorbing everyone's energy, and so in addition to possibly being an empath, most service providers with a natural talent have a sense of understanding where people are at on the emotional scale, sometimes even without words. So what I usually do is check a room and check the temperature of that room, and I can feel the frequencies or what's out of sync or what's harmonious in that environment. And you can tell when people are feeling cared for and when they're not feeling cared for, because there is a vibration in the room that either the energy is up or it's down or it's in the middle, or that people are moving freely and they have their own sense of themselves, or people are glued to one location and they feel like they can't move or aren't able to move because either they're over-medicated or some of the rules or the establishment is too confining. But you can feel, and so I invite you to, when you go back in, just look at the setting that you are in, that you are actually in, and see whether or not there is that movement and that vibe that's happening there. And so what I will do is invite you in to search around, even at this moment right now. Just start here with searching around the area that you're in your office space, your workstation. If you're out in the field, what is that like for you? What is it like when you're out in the field and when you come back to your office? And what is the environment informing you about? What is it telling you? And this has a lot to do with self-care, because then again, Sacred Spaces by Design, you get to create that feeling in the environment that you are in, and other people will notice that too. So be comfortable in that environment that you're in. And if you are interested in anything creative, or you are a creative person, I invite you to add more of your creativity into play in your everyday existence, because this is very freeing, and it ties back to the authenticity that we talked about earlier. So that the true you, and being who you really are, that vibration really resonates with other people, and they can feel that vibration, and that is also uplifting. Similarly, if you are learning new things and new information, that's okay too. That vibration is also present. So there's a novelty to that, and there's nothing bad about that. And if you're in the open space of learning, that's always good and buoyant, and it's always a higher frequency, right? So I invite you to look at your environment, look at the space around you in your work setting, and the various locations that you may be needing to visit or drawn to, and just see what around the area, what is that information that is coming forward in that setting. And then this will be elaborated on a little bit further, but when you are visiting with, no buts, and when you are visiting with your people, the persons that you're serving, check out their environment too, and just feel the comfort, or lack of comfort, or the neutrality or the intensity of that situation. So these are all mirrors of how people may be feeling. This will also help you to tune in a little more with what it is that the person may be experiencing and how you may be able to help with some buoyancy there as well. So that's about the room. So let's just read what I have written in the book for you. When I check out a room, I feel vibrations, frequencies, energies of the whole room. I call it taking temperature, just as we may be able to digest and download how a climate of space, the mood of the room may feel. We forget that we also can absorb some creativity in our everyday experiences that may even lead us into activity, right? So this happens when you're not particularly pleased about it, maybe an interaction that you had with a client, and you're obsessing about it and going over it over and over in your mind, or you have a meeting with your supervisor and there's some things in there that are not clear, or you're not sure what's expected of you. There are things that you can do to bring in creativity that will help calm you and be a form of self-care. So you can visualize a rose, like I was reading that last sentence, everyday experiences that may lead us into an activity. Imagine a rose, if you see a rose, right? Or tulips, or anything that for you will help to, one, stop that loop, but also that it's an action that is creative, that is a part of self-care. At the very least, we can begin to think about the type of form of creativity that provides for us in some momentary way, a momentary shift, a release, a letting go of the heaviness that has absorbed us. So this is something that you can do every day, anywhere you are in your work setting, especially just before those heavy times, when you know those heavy times are. Like before a meeting, before a supervisor meeting, before a staff meeting, before these things that somehow, and this will get better too when you are more authentic with yourself, that are not so loaded with intensity and emotion. So this provides for us a momentary shift, a release, a letting go of the heaviness that has absorbed us. Did you feel that? So I did that deliberately so that you can feel the change of language and pace, so that you can have an idea that bringing any of these things in can shift us in a moment into a different space, and we can use creativity to help us along the way, because everything is really an adventure. All right, so we're going to stop now, and I'm going to share with you more. This is just a freebie, so we're just getting started. I'm so glad that you're with us, and please continue to look through all of the information that you will be receiving in the email to see what other types of courses that you might like to partake in, and I can't wait to tell you all about some more of the creative tips and sneak previews that we have for you. All right, for now, see you real soon.